What's up, guys? I'm back. I'm back in our video today. Okay, so I'm back in our video today, obviously. So right now, I'm gonna be doing our album review for some metal music, and the band I'm gonna be reviewing today is a band called Gorod, and they're a French death metal band and all of that good stuff. Yeah. Okay, I gotta get to the page in terms of like um about the band and stuff, and so this band Gorod, they're technical death metal, so there's that. Like, well, it's saying here they're also labeled as progressive metal, so it's not showing what. So there's that, and if we're looking here, they got what, 7 albums released in terms of studio. So there's that, and screw you. Okay, what I'm looking here, in terms of the vocalists that are currently, no, in terms of the what I'm looking here, in terms of the guys that are actually present in the band, we got the guitar players Matthew Pascal and Nicholas Alberni or something. We got Julian Darius, whatever his name is. He's the guy in the vocals. We got Carl Deers or Carol Deers on the drums, and Benoit Claus on the bass. Talking about this album, talking about the album I'm gonna be reviewing by this band, and that's Process of a New Decline. So that's the name of the album, and it's the third album. So there's that, and looking at the track list here, I know I'm a little all over the place right now, it feels like, but looking at the track list, there's 11 total tracks on here. I'm gonna call it tracks just to make it easier on myself. And plus, I'm lazy to refer to them as anything else, so I'm just gonna say tracks. But anyways, there's 11 tracks and all of that good stuff. Screw you. Okay, time to talk about my thoughts on this album here, Process of a New Decline, by the band Gorod. I'm gonna share my thoughts on it now. First thing I noticed is the way everybody's playing on this album. Like, I noticed lots of like fast playing in terms of like the drums and just like everything and stuff, like lots of like technical playing and stuff. And like, the thing is, there are plenty of parts on this album that for the most part I enjoyed, but there are also a good amount of moments to where they get into a little kind of like shredless wankery is the best way I'm gonna call it. Like, there are some times where they get like wankery playing and like fast guitar licks and other stuff, and I mean, like, there were some parts where they did obviously do that to an extent, but there are also other points where they kind of like toned it back a little bit and had some like good groove parts and like all of that good stuff. Like, if you guys have listened to this album in its entirety, you guys know what I'm trying to say and stuff. Like, it's like I said, there are times where the shredless wankery is obvious, and it's just like in some points like that, I don't really like it at all. It's just like all that good stuff, like even the way the album starts off. Like, I'm not saying the way the album starts off is like shredless wankery, but like even the way the album starts off in the first song, they get right into it with like fast playing and like fast drum parts and all of this other stuff. And I also really liked the drummer on this album. Like, I liked some of his fast playing and also some of his groovy parts, and I also liked the bass playing on this album. For the most part, I was able to hear it, but there's that. And some points, it felt like jazzy moments, like or like there were some moments where it felt like a jazzy type feel in terms of the playing and stuff. One example I can think of is in the second to last song on this album, Watershed, and for the most part, it's an instrumental. I guess, like, if I'm remembering, but I'm probably forgetting, knowing me, but there were a good amount of moments in that song where it has like a jazzy feel to it, and there are some other songs where they start off some of the other songs with like a jazzy type feel, but I'm probably forgetting, but there's that. Screw. Okay, so I'm trying to think of other things that I could say about this, like like I said, for the most part, I enjoyed this from start to finish, but there were also some moments where it's just like, I guess I couldn't really I didn't really like some moments, you know, like so I didn't really like everything about this. Like, basically, what I'm trying to say is like I was saying earlier, some of like the fast shredless wankery parts, I'm gonna call them, that they're playing, like the fast licks, I'm gonna say some of those fast licks, I didn't really like any of them. Well, for the most part, I didn't really like a decent amount of them, like, mainly because I felt like they were trying to show off. So there's that. Like basically, what I'm trying to say is, even though they play on at a high level for basically the entire thing, there are some moments where that showing off really is present and stuff. So there's that. And Discreet. Okay, so last thing I guess I could comment on is in terms of this album, Process of a New Decline. One thing I guess another thing I could say is that, like, I guess the majority of the songs are like memorable in terms of like catchiness, I guess, like in some parts, like that's the best way I can describe it. And like, in terms of the guy and the vocals, I mean, I did not mind the guy and the vocals on this album, but I also for the most part, I thought he was fine. Like, I didn't really care about what he was saying or anything. Like, I didn't really pay much attention to it. So there's that. And so overall, if I'm giving this album a rating in terms of like how I enjoyed it for myself, I'd give it a good 7.5 out of 10 in terms of like my enjoyment on this album. Do I think objectively it deserves a higher score in terms of like how good I think it is? I would say so, yeah. But like in terms of how I enjoyed it personally, if we're doing like scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna have to give this a 7.5 out of 10 in terms of how I enjoyed it. Like I liked this album I enjoyed this album for the most part, but I also didn't think it was like the best album of all time or anything, like nowhere near. So there's that. Like, but I also like it wasn't bad or anything. I just it wasn't bad for the most part. But anyways, I feel like I've said everything I had to say for today. So right now is basically when I'm going to be ending today's video off. Like, I'm not going to go any further with today's video. Simply not. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. And peace out, everybody.